Chelsea and Manchester United to come from Stamford Bridge. First up this afternoon on a Super Sunday, it's Everton and the champions, Arsenal, live from Goodison Park. Match commentators Alan Smith and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, how do you cover for the loss of Wayne Rooney, who's having to watch suited and booted as he bids to return to fitness? Everton are going to have to rely for their goals today on a man who scored just one in the Premiership last season. It took until the very last game for Kevin Campbell to break his duck. And that was on the same day that one of his successors at Arsenal, Thierry Henry, was getting his 30th of the season. But he's never scored previously at Goodison Park. If you press the red button on your Sky Digital remote, you can access our interactive services, and Jose Antonio Reyes, judging by last week, will be worth watching on Player Cam. Mike Riley is in charge as the champions begin the defence of their crown and also the defence of their 40-game unbeaten run. They're too short of equalling Nottingham Forest's top-flight record of 42 games unbeaten. But despite the marked contrast in the goal-scoring record of the strike forces, Kevin Campbell, 1 goal last season, and James McFadden still to score his first goal for Everton, up against proven goal scorers in Henry and Bergkamp. Everton hope to get their season off to a good start. We're away, who knows what the future will hold for these two clubs. The pre-season predictions are to be believed. They could be going in very opposite directions. But Everton surprised one or two a couple of seasons ago, but then avoided relegation just by 6 points last year. It's Fabregas. Now Pistone playing at right back today. Riley blowing for the early foul.
He's not afraid to put himself about, this young 17-year-old Rob. Made such an impression early doors on arriving from Barcelona.
Pistone's cross, Kilban, and it almost fell there for Kevin Campbell. Bounce wasn't kind to him and he was offside anyway.
He just drifted in from the left. Kevin Kilban, totally unmarked, you can see him there. And Kevin Campbell was offside, but just came to him unawares.
Yobo coming for the header, but he and Stubbs getting in each other's way. Cleared in the end by Carsley. Campbell. Ashley Cole finding Reyes. Now Henry. Touchback by McFadden to Leon Osman. And here's Bergkamp. Freddie Ljungberg. A very important tackle from Stubbs.
A great interception. Freddie Ljungberg had actually stayed in the centre after he'd made an inside run a couple of seconds before, and so likes to get into the box.
Thierry Henry, who wasn't very popular with the Everton fans for his celebration after scoring a penalty against them on the opening day of last season. Really tested Martin with his corner though. By Stubbs and Gilberto. And Bergkamp lines up the free kick. Stubbs who meets it. And now Ljungberg. Bergkamp. Here's Gilberto. Back from Toure. Seagull to Cole. Reyes. To Gravison. And into touch from Pistone.
The one thing you don't want Arsenal to be allowed to do is just to get that touch of the ball and pass it about at will, and they've threatened to do that at times, but Everton trying to get in amongst them and settle them.
Clayman, who didn't miss a game last season in the Premiership, his first for the club. Of course, his debut was against Everton because these two met at Highbury on the opening day of last season. Cole. Pascal Seagull to Dennis Bergkamp. Cleared by Carsley. Now can Campbell get a run on here? Seagull came across. Bergkamp. Henry. Rare's making a run in from the left, although Castoni had a yard or two on him. Toure. Gravison. Now Osman. Now Fabregas. Ljungberg's made another of those clever runs of his in from the right. Naismith though attracting.
Yeah, looks lively, doesn't he? Freddie Ljungberg. Twice now he's made those darting runs inside, and imperative that you do go with him. Naismith did a great job seeing the danger out.
He's had a disrupted pre-season, Ljungberg, because of a rib injury, but he's looked lively from the start here. Henry with a kick. Catches everyone out by finding Reyes. Still going. He get caught then by Carsley. Well, as he proved last week in the Community Shield, he's unafraid to take on defenders. Jose Antonio Reyes. Henry felt he'd been fouled then by Yobo.
Well, certainly a bit of physical contact. Oh, there's actually a pull, a little tug as Henry tried to get onto that through ball. Henry certainly thinks so.
Well, they're still very close to each other, Henry and Yobo. The dialogue ongoing since the contact between them. Kilban. Naismith. Here's McFadden. And quite a duel between these two already. And it looks as though they've finally sorted it out.
Yeah, this was the ball through from Bergkamp. And Yobo loves to get close to his players, and we don't actually see it on that very quick play. That's going to help him this afternoon, Yobo.
That's the challenge from Carsley on Reyes, who got very tight to the line. Now McFadden. Fabregas. Gilberto. Kilban, and there's a struggle going on here with Lauren. And Everton may be the underdogs, but they're not going to show so much respect to Arsenal that it turns into being in awe of them.
Well, that's the key. I'm sure that's something David Moyes has said before they've come out. Because if they do that, if they show too much respect, stand off, ask if they're trouble.
It's a sort of dogged spirit that Everton are probably going to need to see them through what could be a difficult season. They haven't been able to strengthen as they would have wished. Even now, funds may be available, but it seems as though they might have missed the boat in terms of signings, and will have to look instead to the January transfer window. Here's Bergkamp. Ljungberg. Gilberto and Reyes up to his left. Gilberto's initial touch. Naismith followed it out, and Martin, in trying to keep it in, carried it across the line. It's a corner.
I actually think that went over the line. I'd like to see it again. The referee's assistant was certain. Gilberto just got his touch on, tried to shoot. Marginal.
The talking point, if Arsenal make something of this, it's Reyes with a corner. Good solid defending again from Stubbs.
Wants to whip these balls in on me, doesn't he, under the keeper's crossbar. Anybody get the slightest touch, whether it's defender or attacker.
Henry's kick.
Didn't do it.
And instead for Bergkamp and picked him out. Well won by Gravison, giving Bergkamp a retrieval job, which he manages, but unfairly in the referee's view. Free kick.
Yeah, he's looking sharp now, Bergkamp. Picked up the ball 2 or 3 times just off the front and uses it so well. It's the job that Lee Carsley, Gravison, have just got to make sure he doesn't have too much space.
Gilberto's header. Osman. Now McFadden looking to turn in a tight spot. Fabregas. Reyes. Henry. Now Gilberto. Stubbs put Freddie Ljungberg off the ball. This is Lauren. And Ljungberg takes it on and gets past Stubbs this time, but good goalkeeping from Nigel Martin. He raced from his line then to meet Ljungberg. Everton have been standing their ground in the physical contests.
Well, again, a piercing run from Ljungberg. And as he comes onto this ball, does he get a little bit of luck through Stubbs' legs? I think it went. Great goalkeeping, though. Good starting position for Martin.
Osman. Tackle by Cole. Leon Osman, who was loaned out to Derby for much of last season, although he did come back to make a couple of appearances at the end of the campaign for Everton. Stoney's throw, McFadden climbing, Kilban's in there! Good challenge by Lauren. Yobo. Cleared by Seagull. Carsley. Gilberto. And Fabregas. Stubbs. That's overhit for Kevin Kilban. Had a couple of early opportunities for Kilban.
Well, this long throw is a dangerous weapon, and it's all about the second ball, who can get to it first, and Kilban does well. But so does Lauren.
Kevin Kilban has had a bright pre-season. He scored 3 in the last 4 pre-season matches, including a cracker at Sheffield Wednesday. A couple of early sights of goal for him here, but offside now against McFadden.
Down this left side where they're going to give the most width, I think, with McFadden being left-sided alongside Kevin Kilban. They really need to try and spread that play out, not try and go through the centre of that Arsenal defence. Strong point.
Fabregas. Carsley. Now Kilban. On by Henry. Only dealt with by Yobo, but Fabregas not giving up on it. Tackle Gravison. Ljungberg here. Away by Yobo. Gilberto. Lauren. Fabregas. Lauren's ball across, cleared by Stubbs. There's Gravison. Fabregas. Bergkamp. 2 to his left. Reyes one of them. Lined up for Henry, and Fabregas was available then. Have they pulled it back to him?
Well, you've got Reyes running at you. It's a difficult decision what you do. They stood off Everton, allowed him to slip it back. He's going to be a handful this season, Reyes, no doubt about it.
Fabregas. He's unleashed Cole, who's lacking in options in the middle. Plays it in too early.
First time early, Ashley Cole's got forward and done what he does so well.
Pistone. Reyes. Ljungberg rather free to his right, but cleared by Naismith.
So close, wasn't it? So close, just to trundle him through to Ljungberg, who was in space. Look at the pace of Ljungberg, trying to get onto the end of that.
I've had trouble stopping Reyes. That's one way of doing it from Gravison. Bergkamp assessing his options here from the free kick. And it's Seagon, and it's off the line. I think it was Naismith who got back. Pascal Seagon, whose only Arsenal goal was against these opponents, almost got another.
Just Carlo Touré's run caused the problems in front of Nigel Martin, and Pascal Seagon didn't know too much about that. And yeah, I don't think it was over the line. Gary Naismith didn't give it up. Great clearance. Touré just gets in front of Martin, prevents him from getting a good punch in. Very close.
Carsley in towards Campbell, and a tangle this time with Pascal Seagon. Campbell and the Everton fans convinced he should have had a penalty. Mike Riley not convinced.
I think in Everton's favour there, in Kevin Campbell's favour. Seagon not looking at the ball.
Quickly taken throw in here. Now Reyes shoved aside by Osman. Here's Fabregas. Henry Fabregas. Nearly a clever way through, but Stubbs clears.
See as the ball comes in, Pascal Seagon's really got his eye on Kevin Campbell more than the ball, and that is a very close decision, because if you're just looking at the player, concerned what he's going to do, he's got his arm up on Campbell. Legitimate appeals there. Got manhandled to the ground.
Henry. Cole. Henry again. It's all right. Busy time for Mike Riley. Let's have a look at his position for the last incident.
There's a couple of players in his way, aren't there, I think? Carlo Touré, McFadden. Just don't know why Seagon didn't attack that ball himself rather than having all eyes on Campbell.
Here's Bergkamp. Stubbs. Osman. Here's Pistone. Fabregas. Now Lauren. And we're trying to return it to Freddie Ljungberg. It's Gary Naismith who covers.
That was a feature of playing against Arsenal, just following that second man on that 1-2. You've got to do it, and Naismith's done it more than once. And Freddie Ljungberg.
Here's Bergkamp.
I think that one moved a bit in the air. saw the keepers before and the Everton keepers with this new ball, asking if it moved any differently to last season. That moved a little bit, to keep his eye on it.
Fun push away from Martin, but his goal stays under pressure from the fifth corner that Arsenal have won already. And it's Reyes with a kick. Martin was struggling to get to the corner. It's cleared by McFadden though. Cole. Ball to Bergkamp. Now Reyes. Martin coming to meet Toure and then getting caught by the defender. Free kick given.
Just to attack the ball too, why that he did when Pascal Segon nearly scored a few moments earlier. Very brave player.
Lauren. Bergkamp. Play again from Arsenal. This is Reyes. Cole's going up on the outside of him. Just in buying the time, it allowed Osman the opportunity to pounce and clear. And here's James McFadden. Madison has got forward now to offer him another option, but at the moment it was necessary to pass. He just showed too much of it to Segon, and this allows Arsenal to break. Bergkamp, though, can't keep it in.
Unlike Arsenal, of course, what they haven't got, Everton, when they swing on the counter-attack, is genuine pace. We saw that then with McFadden. He wasn't able to just knock the ball up the wing and try and do his man.
Naismith. Cleared by Toure to Lauren. And now Freddie Ljungberg. Osman. McFadden. Caught by Pascal Segon. Marcus Bent getting a good reception. The first sighting of him warming up. Bergkamp. Fabregas. Osman. Now McFadden has got away. James McFadden. Good block by Kolo Toure.
He's done really well there initially, James McFadden. He got the beating of Pascal Segon and took the ball on again. Had his shot on target, decent strike.
Stoney's throw in towards Campbell. Reyes. Henry. Reyes, the furthest player forward here for Arsenal, although Henry and Ljungberg are bidding to support him. Can he go all the way, though? Henry comes in to take over and lines up for Dennis Bergkamp. Superb break from Arsenal. They broke at devastating speed. Reyes very much at the source of it, and Bergkamp finishes it off.
It was almost inevitable, wasn't it? The way they've been getting bodies forward so quickly. Red shirts flooding forward. Ljungberg had done it. This time it was Bergkamp, and the ball just breaks. It's a simple pass from Henry, and he's got time to take a touch and make sure he gets a clean strike on target, and chances are that shot's going to go in. Talking about pace a couple of minutes ago, and that's what this goal was all about, apart from the finish.
Well, the old Dutch master off and running already for the new season, Dennis Bergkamp. Reyes, though, had a big part to play. one stage Reyes was at the head of that break, and yet suddenly his colleagues flooded forward to support him, so he seemed to have a multitude of options.
Yeah, I think he thought initially he was on his own, but you never are normally when you're playing in this Arsenal attack, because it doesn't take too long before teammates there in support. So it proved 2 or 3 this time.
Fabregas. Now Bergkamp. Headed back by Kevin Campbell. Joseph Yobo. Seagon's foul on Kevin Campbell.
He does like to get close to his marker, Pascal Seagon. Sometimes that costs him. A little shove in the back. Unnecessary, really. It's a straight ball up. A little shove in the back. But Everton faced with a difficult problem now. They've got to open this game up. They know that, to try and get back into it. And more often than not, that can play into Arsenal's hands.
What an exciting player Reyes is. And this is the part he had to play in Dennis Bergkamp's opener.
It just gets better and better, doesn't it? It's all about decision-making here. He can't see anybody to lay the ball off to. They do get a little bit of luck in that the tackle falls to Henry, but after that, it's all about a precision strike, precision finishing. Not much Nigel Martyn can do at all through the legs.
People wondered if Dennis Bergkamp had got much of a role to play this season, having extended his Arsenal career by another year. But the indications are that he is looking as sharp as ever, and he's already off the scoring mark. Everton with a free kick, which Kilban will leave for Gravison, who hits it firmly. Well taken by Jens Lehmann.
Yeah, he had to hold it as well. James McFadden was bearing down on him. He's got great hands, Lehmann. Talking about Dennis Bergkamp, Rob, he really looks like the player he was 3 or 4 years ago. Never mind about last year, whatever. You know, he's had these 2-year-long contracts, and he's almost been eager to prove himself as the years have gone on. He looks very fit.
McFadden. Will play Osman in. Gilberto. Here's Leon Osman. Ljungberg, now Bergkamp, now Fabregas. Here's Henry, and here they go again. 3 going through the middle, Ljungberg one of them. Yobo's there though. Now Bergkamp wins it back from Naismith. This is Henry, tries to leave it behind for Bergkamp, but Gary Naismith had got back. Gilberto, Lauren, Henry, Fabregas, Reyes, Cole coming in to take over. Wonderful football again, Reyes just trying to hook it around Pistone, and a suggestion that it hit his hand.
Well, it would have been harsh, that, I think. Very close to Reyes when he flicked it. Sprung up, hit him, not intentional.
Lauren. Bergkamp. Ljungberg. Fabregas. Henry. There's Kilban. Campbell. Coming across the front of Seagon, claiming he should have had a throw-in. Bergkamp. Fabregas. Now Reyes. Henry. Ljungberg. It was very untypical, the finish for Arsenal.
Yeah, lovely stuff before that, wasn't it? They've got this ability to keep the ball, often look lazy in possession, but just goes from one red shirt to the next, across the line.
Here's Henry. Now Lauren. Lauren frustrated by Naismith. And by Fabregas.
Just seems to be almost an air of resignation about Everton at the moment. That whatever they do, they are struggling to stop this Arsenal unit going forward.
Reyes. Now Gilberto.
Very hard work for those Everton midfield players in the middle of the park in this heat particularly. Doing doggies up and down, trying to keep with the likes of Bergkamp, Reyes, Henry when he drops in.
Naismith. Rabison. Away by Seagull. Now Fabregas. Back from Henry. Reyes. Henry. Reyes again. And Thierry Henry now becomes the subject of player cam. Sky Digital viewers, press the red button on your remote.
If anything, he's looked the quieter of the quartet of forward players, hasn't he, out of Ljungberg, Bergkamp, Reyes and himself. He's seen the least of the ball.
Fabregas aiming one in. Ljungberg though dealt with by Stubbs and Naismith here. Carsley. Kilban. Here's McFadden.
To try and keep it in these positions now, just make Arsenal work a little bit. They've done enough chasing themselves, Everton. Try and put the boot on the other foot, give the defenders a respite.
There's already been a key coming together of Pascal Seagon and Kevin Campbell. Campbell left to Toure now as it's floated in brilliantly, and Kilban with a header just over.
Well, there seems a little bit of uncertainty in that central defence for Arsenal as to who was marking who. Seagon pulled off in the end. And, it's a good jump. Nothing wrong with it. Maybe a little bit high for him. Decent effort from Kilban. I think that's going to be their best way forward. Everton just getting quality balls into the box and getting bodies in amongst those Arsenal defenders.
It's Kilban again, now Campbell. This time he does get the free kick, pushing the back from Kolo Toure. It's Stubbs with a free kick now. For Campbell, who again has got Seagon's arms around him.
Tell you what, he's got to be careful, Pascal Seagon, because he had got his palm on the chest of Kevin Campbell, and you know, he's in the penalty area. Look at that. I've seen referees give penalties for that. He's got to stand his ground, doesn't need to clasp his opponent, Pascal Seagon.
Touch from McFadden, but Campbell couldn't quite return the compliment. Everton battling hard against Reyes. Now McFadden. Seagon away. Reyes. Here's Cole. Arsenal and Manchester United have dominated the Premiership landscape in recent times, but will Chelsea have a say this year? We'll get an early indication perhaps in the game that follows this one. Later on Sky Sports 1, Chelsea against Manchester United. One from Osman, too long for Pistone.
I've got to believe Everton, they are still in this football match, because they're only a goal down, and although at times the teams look worlds apart in terms of quality on the ball, all it needs is a little knockdown, somebody latching onto it. Got to keep the shape up until half-time. 1-0 down won't be a disaster for Everton.
Challenged by Gravison on Gilberto, who's going to see the first, in fact it's Carsley rather, is going to produce the first card of the afternoon. A yellow card for Lee Carsley.
A bit of frustration creeping in. Can't get the ball. Just catches him late. I know he's been in the game by the end of this afternoon, Lee Carsley, along with Gravison, along with all the players out here. It's quite warm.
Here's Bergkamp. Fabregas. And back by Gravison. He's trying to play Campbell through. Kilban. Return to him didn't come off from McFadden, and then Kilban engaged in a struggle with Gilberto. Ljungberg. Gilberto, loose touch, Campbell saw his moment and seized it. Kilban. Just managed to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm a little bit in the last few minutes. Is this going to give Everton a bit more encouragement? Kilban. It's Kilban who so far has gone closest to equalising.
As I say, well, we've got 7 minutes or so before half-time, and if they can keep the scoreline like this, at least Everton, then they can get in there and regroup under David Moyes. Perhaps the opportunity just to change a couple of things. And as I say, 1-0 down is by no means a disaster. It's not insurmountable for Everton.
Came from 1-0 down to beat Arsenal the last time they managed that here. No Thomas Radzinski around anymore. He's departed. Wayne Rooney is injured. Likely to be out for a month or so. It is that shortage of personnel that could cost Everton dear, certainly at the start of this season. Fabregas. Ljungberg. Now Bergkamp, Lauren available. Reyes in the box. And he aimed for him where Henry and Bergkamp were both waiting at the edge. Ljungberg, Reyes! 2-0 Arsenal! New season, but same old Arsenal, looking as invincible as ever.
Well, just went to sleep for me, Everton there. When he made the initial run, Reyes, he was surrounded by about 6 players, and again, when he gets the header in, there are 4 players within the width of the 6-yard box. You can see them there, but nobody takes any notice of him. He's just able to drift off his man. He drifts off Naismith here in the middle of the park, waits for the cross to come, and look at the blue shirts in amongst him. Really was sloppy. Tired minds from Everton as well as tired legs, I think. Just what they didn't need before half-time. Simple as you like.
2 games this season and 2 goals for Jose Antonio Reyes, who scored in the Community Shield last week and does it again now on the opening day of the Premiership for Arsenal. And already it's looked like being a successful first part to the defence of their crown. The amazing thing about the way that Arsene Wenger's team do it is that they do it despite all the high-profile absences that they have, and yet they can still seem to manage without the likes of Campbell and Vieira and Pires, who's on the bench today.
Well, what they've got this team system, and they play the same way right from youth team through to the first team, and so you get the likes of Fabregas who can come in and he can feel comfortable in amongst those senior players. And you could argue, well, they haven't got the strength in depth perhaps of a Chelsea, but the players that they have got in this core of first team players, they're absolutely top quality.
Had one of his quieter days so far, but there's been a great fluidity about Arsenal's movement again today, really picking up again from where they left off last season. Everyone else in the Premiership can only look at Arsenal in envy. Certainly this man, Bill Kenwright, who I'm sure must feel he's been through a whole season already. The club has been pretty much by their own admission hammered from pillar to post in the summer through all the boardroom shenanigans. David Moyes has been very much the man in the middle.
Talking about trying to get back into the dressing room at 1-0 and the chance to just change a couple of things, but it makes the task so much harder now.
Stoney, Osman. Osman, and it's not just a free kick that Arsenal get from that, it's a card for the Everton man.
He's a little bit unlucky there, to be honest, just chasing back on Jose Reyes. I thought he unintentionally clipped his heels, which he did. The yellow card comes out though.
Osman joins Carsley in the book. Allison being spoken to.
I think it was the fact that Fabregas leaped about 10 foot in the air that made that challenge look a little worse than it was.
Cole. Reyes. Henry. Kilban. Naismith. Carsley. Knocked away by Toure. Naismith.
This has caused problems in this first half. A long throw. Getting bodies in around Campbell, Kilban here.
Ravison. Alan Stubbs. Seagull last.
Very difficult for Kevin Campbell to do much with those straight balls in the air. Seagon's got a few inches on him in terms of height. Craving for some of that supply from the wide areas.
Yobo. Now Fabregas. Ljungberg. There'll be 2 additional minutes in the first half.
The referee has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes time added on to be played in this half. 2 minutes.
Extremely efficient first 45 minutes of the season for Arsenal, isn't it? Laying their intentions down, determined to try and retain this championship trophy for the first time, in modern times at least. They all sense that's the sign of a truly great team. That's what Manchester United have done.
Have to go back to the 30s. The last time Arsenal retained it. They won it 3 times, 33 to 35. Osman plays it in here looking for Campbell, and Lehmann comes and loses it, and Kilban tries to drill it across. Naismith piling in, but an Arsenal player had gone down, and that was Gilberto had gone down. And in a way that helped to get Lehmann out of trouble. He was struggling to get back on his feet, claiming he'd been fouled anyway, and then Campbell played a part in trying to stop him from getting back up.
All started, you know, from Pascal Seagan, who's very tentative, and not for the first time this half, and they're trying to retrieve the situation from here, Arsenal. The blue shirts trying to get in amongst it, and Gilberto takes the knock. Seagan, I think, has been the weak link in that back 4, back 5 in this first 45, and I think Everton sensed that. A couple of balls played up to him, he's just miscontrolled, his clearance hasn't been right, things have popped off him.
Campbell is the man who's got to work to find favour for Everton out of those weaknesses. A concern for Arsene Wenger, state of Gilberto's welfare.
He's a little bit short of central midfielders, of course, with Patrick Vieira being out.
Eddie also still away after his involvement in the Copa America. Gilberto, though, wasn't off the field for long. He's not going to get another touch before half-time, because there is the whistle, and Jose Antonio Reyes has again demonstrated what a great value he will be to Arsenal's team. Instrumental in the first goal for Bergkamp and scorer of the second. Bergkamp opening the score just after the first quarter point of the first half. And it really is normal service resumed at the break. Everton 0, Arsenal 2. And Tony Hibbert is coming on for Alan Stubbs, and Marcus Bent is also coming on for James McFadden. Stubbs has gone off with a groin injury.
Number 7, Marcus Bent, replacing number 11, James McFadden.
As Hibbert comes on, he'll be followed on by Bent, who's making his Premiership debut for Everton. Had a good reception earlier when he came out to warm up in the first half, and now they're hoping he can do his stuff on the pitch. He's certainly got a point to prove here at Goodison, has Marcus Bent, only 26 years of age, but already with his 8th club, and he really does need to settle down here, make his point, and hopefully avoid relegation, which has dogged him in the past. He's suffered relegations from the Premiership with 3 different clubs.
Some fans won't want to hear that one, Rob, will they? Start the season.
Well, ambitious from the start of the second half, but Arsenal can afford the luxury of that. 2-0 and looking comfortable. It's Osman. It's Hibbert. Having just come on, Marcus Bent is now the subject of player cam for Sky Digital viewers. Press the red button on your remote.
He's a talent, Marcus Bent, and has scored goals at this level. But as you said, needs to attain a bit of consistency, just find a home somewhere and prove that he can do it at one place, season in, season out. Perhaps this will be the place to Everton's rescue.
There's a big rescue job on for them now, and going to find a way back into the game like that. Tony Hibbert. Arsenal was smoothly back into gear in that first half. Here's Bergkamp, who made the scoring breakthrough for them. Reyes who got the other. Ashley Cole. Henry. Henry has scored on the opening day in the last 3 years. And Arsenal have won their last 3 opening day fixtures. Naismith. Carsley. Naismith. Kilban.
Bad ball that, between goalkeeper and centre halves. Well delivered.
Hibbert. Gravison. Campbell. Away by Seagon, but Campbell caught him after the ball had gone, and Bergkamp here is on the break as Mike Riley played the advantage. Here's Henry. Lundberg and Fabregas. Martin recovers. Martin had to recover really, having not made the Henry cross.
It was a fantastic save, but he's done that same thing. Just got under the cross. He's done it from corners before now, Nigel Martin. Freddie Lundberg was in all sorts of space though. Martin recognised that, knew he had to come and claim.
Osman. Ravison. Now Yobo. Bent with an opportunity at last to get into the game. Osman. Bent again. Speed of Arsenal's thinking that they're breaking again here with Reyes, and Bergkamp tries to take it on. Yoba had to make that, otherwise Bergkamp would have been in on Martin's goal.
Well, the pace of that counter, I mean, it came from a throw-in adjacent to their own penalty area, and Everton are scrambling just to get a last-ditch tackle in. It's a different line-up in defence now for Everton. Hibbert right back and Pistone over at centre-half, but the challenge remains the same. Following these runners that come from all over the place.
Because with the Arsenal forwards, it's not as if they stay in rigid positions. You never quite know where they're going to turn up next, do you?
It requires so much discipline and concentration as well to stay with the second man when they play these little 1-2s. Half the time, though, it's impossible, such as the pace of these players, these Arsenal players.
It's Yobo. Gilberto. Fabregas. Now Henry. Hibbert. Gary Naismith. Bent. Covered by Cole. Kilban trying to steer it back through to Bent. Caught though by Lauren. Just a free kick though.
Marcus Bent certainly made a difference. Little 1-2 there, getting caught late, but Marcus Bent's pace and ideas at the moment are just making Arsenal defenders think a little bit more.
Graveson's free kick, headed away by Ashley Cole.
Nobody seemed willing to really attack that for Everton, did they?
Looking for Campbell, and here's Marcus Bent. And Henry breaks again for Arsenal. Reyes. Henry. Slid it through to Ljungberg, who was unlucky.
Yeah, so close. Thomas Graveson got the slightest of touches just to take it out of the path of Ljungberg. Kevin Campbell's not had the best of luck in those duels with Pascal Seagal. More often than not, Mike Riley has awarded against him.
Trying to return to him, although Joseph Yobo blocked Cole off anyway. Hibbert. Fabregas. Now Cole makes his move, but again Yobo is there. Cole not giving up on it easily and then whipping his legs from under Joseph Yobo and getting a caution as a result.
That's a little bit rash from Ashley Cole. He hasn't had too many of these forward forays because Reyes and the like have been doing it for him. Frustrated that he wasn't able to get hold of this ball.
Campbell. Warren didn't know too much about it, but helped to clear from Kilban anyway. Here's Toure. Yobo. It's going to come straight back at them from Fabregas. Bergkamp. And now Thierry Henry. Ljungberg! It's 3, and it's oh so comfortable for Arsenal. Everton, though, makers of their own misfortune, and they pay a heavy price.
Well, they've tried to play a couple of those stray balls up to the front line now, and Yobo giving the ball away. And, well, this is just typical Arsenal, isn't it? They just pick out the pass, never panic in these circumstances, always got a man on. Henry has a look up, and Ljungberg, he's been doing that all afternoon, making those darts into the heart of the penalty area. Gets his reward with the simplest of tap-ins, but really Everton, the makers of their own misfortune, because that was a careless, sloppy ball from Yobo.
Ljungberg makes them pay the ultimate penalty with the third goal that surely secures Arsenal's first 3 points of the new Barclays Premiership season. Here's Bergkamp. Kevin Kilban. Naismith challenging Lauren and cleared by Kolo Toure. Campbell. Seagon away. Ravison. Hibbert. Now Bent. Leon Osman. Cole. Bent.
The third goal time, 53 minutes and 13 seconds, 53-30, the third goal time here this afternoon.
Hibbert. It's Gravison's cross. Kilban. He's worked hard to conjure an opening for Everton as Kevin Kilban.
There's been too many of those over this afternoon. The great thing from Arsenal's point of view now is that they can just play within themselves, as they have really all match, to be honest. But Arsene Wenger perhaps can throw on a few subs and hasn't got to push his main men too much now. The game is all but won. A good 34 minutes left.
Fabregas.
How many now?
Here's Reyes. And now Henry. Away from Hibbert. Bergkamp! That would have been a stunning crowning glory had that one gone in. He's actually claiming there was a save.
Yeah, he does. It's nice. Nigel Martin got a touch to this. It was a beautifully sweet strike. Doing everything in his own time, Henry. No surprise, picks out a red shirt and it came off the defender, didn't it? As he went to close down.
Ravison. Gilberto. Bergkamp. Fabregas. Now Henry. Osman. Here's Bent. Gravison. Gilberto. Now Ljungberg. Pascal Seagon. Well, the less optimistic among the Everton fans might have written this game off anyway. In many respects, their more crucial tests come in their next two matches against the two of the clubs promoted from next season. Crystal Palace and West Brom, the next two fixtures for Everton, and they may well have a serious bearing on how this season's going to go.
They wanted to get some goals on the scoreboard as quickly as they can, because ultimately that's what makes the difference. If you are struggling a little bit, have you got somebody that can pop up and produce?
Here's Bergkamp. Henry. Fabregas. Henry. Now Ljungberg. Henry. Looking for Reyes. Misjudgment by Pascal Seagon. Future opponents of Arsenal, they They look at that central defensive area as a weakness they might be able to exploit.
There aren't too many weaknesses in this lineup, but I think that's fair comment that he wouldn't get in this side, obviously, if Sol Campbell was there. He does look a little bit nervous today, Pascal Segon. He's made more than one mistake.
Hibbert. Gravison. Taken away from him too easily, this time by Fabregas. And again, Everton could be made to pay here. It's Thierry Henry. Oh, well, needed too many touches in the end, unusually, and he beats the ground in frustration.
Too easy, wasn't it? Just looking for that half a yard to get his shot in, but how many times have we seen this when they've got the man over on the right or the left, and well, he's twisted himself into the ground there. He's lost his bearings. I'm sure he'd love to get off the mark now with a goal, first game of the season.
Segon had one cleared off the line in the first half by Gary Naismith. A long time ago now, before Arsenal had broken the deadlock. Forward for this corner. Reyes, who pulls it back for Bergkamp. Lauren looks for Reyes again. Arsenal working the old corner routine that their North London rivals used to work so well for Teddy Sheringham.
Didn't quite work on that occasion, but Dennis Bergkamp, the recipient there, has been magnificent today. He really has. Apart from his goal, he's been amongst everything.
Lauren.
Some tired Everton legs out there. They've done a lot of chasing this afternoon. They've had to do a lot of chasing, and it's beginning to tell now. With 3 goals down, it doesn't help your morale in the first place, but in this kind of weather, you're just playing for the final whistle.
After a weekend of so many draws in the Premiership and with only 2 clear winners, if Arsenal were to get another goal, it would be a very familiar name at the top of the Premiership table for a few hours at least. Just beyond the reach of Fabregas then.
This is a nice little opportunity for Cesc Fabregas with Vieira out, just to get into this first team and acclimatise. He's not looked out of place one little bit, has he? 17-year-old, what a talent.
Here's Reyes. He's been undaunted by taking opponents on. Touch from Henry, now Bergkamp. Campbell. Osman. Now Bent. To Gravison, Carsley goes for the return, and something for Everton to hang on to. Lee Carsley scores.
Well, deserve it for the persistence, if nothing else. Those 2 holding central midfield players linking up. A lovely little 1-2 through the middle of Arsenal's defence. Beautiful little lob wedge from Gravison, and doesn't Carsley take it well past Lehmann. 3-1, glint of hope. Asking an awful lot. Carsley's giving them something.
And also for Arsenal, number 7, Robert Perez, replacing number 9, Jose Antonio.
So no clean sheet for the champions. Lee Carsley sees to that with his first goal of the campaign. Scored his first Everton goal against the same opponents. Jose Antonio Reyes, who's helped to establish Arsenal's lead, is going off now. And Robert Perez is coming on.
Just what your full-back doesn't want to see, Robert Perez coming on. And Jermaine Pennant talking about players with something to prove. He's quite a long way down the pecking order at this club once everybody's fit, and a few decent performances coming on a sub doing the world of good.
So a double substitution from Arsenal. Ljungberg, the other player to go off, along with Jose Antonio Reyes. Perez and Pennant on. Here's Bergkamp. Tidied up by Hibbert.
The time of the fourth goal, 63 minutes, 13 seconds. 63-13. The fourth goal time.
Pennant. And Toure takes a stab at it. Fabregas was there as well. Lauren. Giving back to him by Pennant. Even when they seemed under pressure then from Bent, they got out of a hole with some neat football. Arsenal. Yobo's header. Pistoni away. From Bergkamp in Kilban, and then another Arsenal player down as well.
He was on his own there. Lauren, when he went down, fell very heavily. Nobody around him. Looks like a thigh strain there, getting the ice on it, Gary Lewin. A little knock. Collapses on the touchline. He's in quite a bit of pain there.
Looks like a flash which has affected his knee. Well, coming up next we've got Chelsea against Manchester United. You won't want to miss that one from Stamford Bridge. Kick-off at 4:05, and that comes up live after this on Sky Sports. Arsenal sending out a clear message to those two that they are not going to let their championship title go away easily. Bent!
Oh, he's done the hard bit there. Marcus Bent turned his man. That's what he's capable of. Just get a little bit of room in a tight space. That was way off.
Well, Lauren is now back on, but still looking distinctly uncomfortable.
He's feeling his thigh, isn't he?
Here's Kilban. Bent. If Duncan Ferguson represents one final option for David Moyes to try and snatch an unlikely point.
Well, I was wondering about that at half-time, whether it would be an option to put him up there and feed off some knockdowns. Another injury now.
Everton fans voicing their frustration. You can see their interpretation of these events. They feel Arsenal are just trying to disrupt their opponents to get closer to the final whistle, but this looks serious enough for Arsene Wenger to need to make a change. And the international clearance for Matteo Flamini only came through this week, but he's going to be pressed into making his Premiership debut here because Gilberto can't carry on.
This is an area where they've got quite a few injuries now, isn't it? Arsenal and Flamini probably getting a chance sooner than he would have expected. Vieira, Adu, and now Gilberto out. Comes very highly rated from fans interested to see him in action.
Well, it looks as though Duncan Ferguson is going to get his moment to try and aid Everton's cause in the final 20 minutes or so. And they build on the goal that Lee Carsley has given them.
certainly perked them up a little bit, hasn't he? There's been a few stop-starts since that goal, but need to get the momentum going again, Everton.
More frustration, though, for Kevin Campbell. Could be Ferguson, Bent and Campbell to finish the game up front for Everton. It is going to be, because Leon Osman is the player being withdrawn by David Moyes. Ferguson coming on for the 299th league game of his career. Only played one game in the Premiership after his sending off at Leicester in March. Against Bolton back in May, scored on it as well. If he can score again past Lehmann, then it could give Arsenal a distinctly uncomfortable last part of the game.
They still love him here, don't they, the Goodison fans?
Ferguson. By Campbell. Ferguson wins a free kick.
A great early chance to get a good delivery into the box onto Big Dunk's head.
He's won the free kick, and if they can get the service right, it's the situation that Duncan Ferguson should thrive on here.
Careful not to drop too deep into the penalty area. Arsenal keeping a high line.
Gravison, who lands one in there for Ferguson. Parsley plays it forward, but the offside flag is up. Mentioned that Everton have Crystal Palace coming up, and Ian Dowie, manager of the Premiership New Boys, here watching their next opponents. Pennant. Here's Marcus Bent. Parsley trying to set Gravison away. That's Cole. Now Hibbert. Throwing a little grab off the ball then at Fabregas. Gravison. Naismith. Stoney's ball. Toure gets the header right. Kilban though finds Bent. Hibbert. Gravison. Ferguson's in there, but not close enough to Lehmann to challenge.
Well, the crowd just wanted that ball delivered into the penalty area, and a little bit late than they would have liked.
Bergkamp looked for Henry then. He does by instinct, and it may have been in a better position. Went with a flick round, that's Seagull. And now Fabregas. Bergkamp. Flamini. Pires. Bent getting his body between that of his opponent and the ball, and earning the free kick. Ferguson the target. Kilban. And here's Ferguson.
And that's what he's on there for. One initial flick on. And got back up and able to latch onto this, but it's difficult chasing a game under these conditions when it is so hot. Okay, substitutes like Ferguson are fresh, but there's a lot of tired legs out there, and they need to keep the tempo up, but difficult for the home side.
Henry. Stoney. Now Carsley. Naismith.
This is a message for Mr. Noble.
Less than 15 minutes to go, and Everton might have anticipated a bit of depression in these circumstances against Arsenal. Here's Pires. Great run from Robert Pires.
Oh, fantastic run. Very close control. I don't suppose the Everton fans, they always full of hope first game of the season, but coming into this one, bearing in mind what's happened over the summer, they wouldn't been expecting too much out of this game, and always looking for a spark of hope, something to hang the hat on. A long season ahead. I don't know if they've found it or not today.
Seagull. Now Kilbane. Pires back to Fabregas. Fabregas now becomes the subject of player cam. Sky Digital viewers, press the red button on your remote. The goal gave Everton a bit of encouragement, but they haven't been able to build on it, and they're not able to again here because Ferguson is offside.
That looks a close one there.
He's ruffled a few feathers since he came on, Ferguson, but he hasn't really had a clear-cut opportunity. Kilbane. Naismith hits it against Jermaine Pennant. Chelsea players being put through their paces ahead of the key game against Manchester United that's coming up live after this one on Sky Sports. Kick-off at 4:05, so make sure you stay with that for what should be an epic clash at Stamford Bridge.
So for Chelsea and the Man U lads have had a chance to look at some of this match and see what surely will be the team to beat again this season, Arsenal. Sure they'd have been impressed if they have caught some.
Would Chelsea and Manchester United have been hoping that Vieira had gone to Real Madrid, and how important is it, do you think, that Arsenal have held on to him?
Well, I think they would have liked him to go on, yeah. He's one of their key players. It's only natural. But I think as well as just keeping the player, it just lifts the whole club, the fact that they have been able to keep their captain, one of their most influential players. You know, it would have sent a really poor message right through the dressing room if Vieira did go, and Arsene Wenger knew that. He gambled almost by allowing Patrick to speak to Real Madrid. He said, well, okay, you make your own mind up, and he was gambling on Vieira eventually deciding that he didn't want to make that break, and that's how it turned out. I'm sure the rest of the lads in that dressing room, they got a tremendous lift from that.
Short term, it seems they can still do without him. Fabregas has looked very much at home today. Here's Bent. Maroney's tackle.
They would have gone forward without him, I've no doubt about it, though. They just played in a slightly different way. Whether that meant getting somebody else in or using the players at their disposal, but you know, I still think they would have been a major force without Vieira this year.
Offside flag up against Duncan Ferguson again. But he's felt the need to question one or two of those decisions, Duncan Ferguson.
It's very tight, isn't it? Half a yard.
Five times now Everton have been caught in that trap, successfully deployed by Arsenal. And we're into the final 10 minutes. That's how far away Arsenal are now from registering their first win of the new season. Perez, and of course from getting closer to that record currently held by Nottingham Forest of 42 successive league matches unbeaten. Offside again, Duncan Ferguson.
Well, perhaps he's just going a little bit earlier than he should because he hasn't got that pace off the mark. First 3 or 4 yards. Gambling a touch. I think he is off, isn't he? Marginal when the ball's kicked. Very tight, the assistant had no doubt.
Here's Henry. Perez, Henry again. Good save, but Cole's there on the rebound, hits the bar, and Perez turns it in. It's 4 for Arsenal, and that rounds it all off.
Well, that's just taken any doubt that there was out of this match, and again Perez coming on as sub, is delighted to get on the score sheet. Very easy. Henry trying his luck from distance, and Nigel Martin will have expected to gather that first time. Perez certainly would have expected to finish from that distance. Ashley Cole used to be a striker, acted like one then, following up the shot. Perez did the rest.
And it all worked out well in the end for Arsenal, with Perez finishing it off. At the moment, the only thing it lacks for Arsenal is a Thierry Henry goal. But it set the seal on Everton's miserable opening to the Premiership season.
I think Henry will get his fair share this term, won't he? They've seen enough.
They're heading for the exits already. Here's Bent. Now Ferguson. Pistone. Naismith finds Kilban. And here's Duncan Ferguson. Bergkamp wrestling with Carsley. Here's Flamini. Interception by Naismith. Kilban. He's on a free kick. Well, they've seen what they'd hoped to see from their team, a continuation of where they left off last year. Header over from Joseph Yobo.
There's an inquiry in that defence. Fabregas, Seagon looking at each other because nobody went with 2 Everton players who peeled away to the far post.
Flamini. Lauren. Now Pennant. Bergkamp. Yobo. frustration for Everton because there's another offside flag.
Searching for answers. I think it's going to be a long old season for David Moyes, Alan Irvine this season. I know they haven't got too much to call on. Needs everybody to stick together.
Fabregas. Now Lauren. Pennant. Lauren. Toure. Yet another offside.
Just when the Everton fans thought they'd got a foul. Look how high up the pitch it is.
Toure's looked for Henry from the free kick, which Pistone can afford to leave. Arsenal have matched Bolton's score from yesterday, so they'll be joint top with them as things stand. Here's Ferguson. Now Bent. And now a decision does go in Everton's favour. Hibbert gets on with the free kick quickly and finds Gravison. Here's Naismith. Gravison again. Pistone. Cleared by Seagull. Here's Carsley. Here's Thomas Gravison. Pennant and Lauren holding them up. Bergkamp. Pires. Henry. It's Pires.
Everton almost, Rob. They've got to forget all about this game and treat the next one against Crystal Palace as the opening day of the season. This is Arsenal. I think they would half expected to get beaten. Have chosen to be beaten in this fashion, but they've just got to regroup, get their heads up and try and get something against Crystal Palace.
Here's Fabregas. Naismith came across at just the right moment.
Good chances to score. Fabregas today. A couple of good shots blocked.
Lamini. Henry. Bergkamp. Being Cole. Wayne Rooney can't come back quickly enough for Everton. In a way, they don't want to rush him back because they don't want to make his foot problem worse. But from the point of view of needs must, they have to get him back quickly.
It's asking an awful lot, though, isn't it? I know he's become a hero, a national hero, but he's still a teenager, and to ask him to be acting as a saviour, despite the amazing talent that he's got, just hope that it wouldn't be too much.
This opening day fixture was announced actually on the day that Rooney was due to become an England hero in the quarter-final against Portugal at Euro 2004, but it's the injury he picked up in that match that certainly didn't help England's cause on the night, and certainly hasn't helped Everton's cause at the start of this season. They've given the ball away again here, Everton. Now Bergkamp. Ashley Cole. Pires. Back from Yobo.
The referee has indicated that there will be a minimum of 1 minute
extra minute.
Time added on to be played in this half. 1 minute.
Surprised at that. We've had a few injuries, haven't we? Gilberto going down lower.
Sure, they could have added 10 minutes on, and it wouldn't necessarily have helped Everton's cause. Here's Hibbert. Ferguson! Good save, well held.
Trademark stuff. Ferguson. The far post.
Yobo's ball in again, looking for Duncan Ferguson. Pennant. Foul by Kilban. Arsenal still look unbeatable. Arsene Wenger's team extend this phenomenal run to 41 league games unbeaten, just one short now of Nottingham Forest's top-flight record. Robert Pires rounding off the scoring after Bergkamp, Reyes and Ljungberg had earlier scored for Arsenal. Lee Carsley brought it back to 3-1, but the threat from Everton to Arsenal never really that serious, and Arsenal have very quickly clicked back into gear and into cruise control. Their best win at Goodison Park since 1958. It's finished Everton 1, Arsenal 4.